The shortlists are here, both for the Women's Prize for Fiction and for the International Booker Prize. The jury of the Women's Prize wrote the 2025 shortlist includes 6 novels that explore the need for personal freedom and human connection. They offer compelling, multi-layered stories that urge you to sit up and take notice of the world around you. That is very clever and beautifully formulated, but it will also apply to almost all of the other books that were eliminated from the long list. It's just the kind of language that juries use or have to use to play the game. Because, let's be honest, at the end of the day, book awards are showcases for literature. They are nothing more and nothing less. A book cannot win 3-1 against another one or lose after 5 sets in a tiebreaker. You will always find someone for whom a not chosen book means more than the chosen one. Awards are a show, and the Women's Prize is in season 30 and the International Booker is in season 26. The White Lotus has a long way to go until it gets there. What is comparable are the consumer's speculations about how it is going to end. Will Chelsea and Rick survive, or will Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie make the shortlist? Well, Chimamanda did not, and I won't spoil the future of Chelsea and Rick, aka Amy Lou Wood and Walton Goggins for you. Let's look at who made the shortlists. Women. Good Girl by Araya Aber. Surprised that this debut that I actually predicted to make the long list made the final round. A young Afghan woman lives and dances techno in Berlin and meets an American man. I have access to the German audio version of the translation of this book. A debut novel of this author who lived in Germany, studied at Stanford University, and has published in the New Yorker magazine. I am still number 100-something on the waiting list for All Fours by Miranda July, a novel about a woman who is trying to radically change her life from one moment to another. This book has received many nominations for several awards, and it is also very popular among readers, at least here in Stockholm in Sweden, because I have to wait a long time to get it from the library. The Persians by Saryam Malouji is a novel about an Iranian family and particularly its women from the 1940s to our days in the United States. In their homeland, they were somebody. In the US, they are nobodies. Sanam Malouji represents the second debut novel on the shortlist 2025. Far from a debut is Tell Me Everything by Elizabeth Strout. This is Elizabeth's 10th novel and the one where she brings 2 of her most beloved characters together for the very first and maybe also the last time, Olive Kitteridge and Lucy Barton. A very humane book, very insightful, with a claim that every human story deserves to be told. The Safekeep by Dutch-Israeli author Yael van der Wouden is the 3rd debut on the shortlist. The manuscript was sold in a hot auction between 9 publishers. The Safekeep is the captivating story of 2 women in an old house filled with history in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and watch out for chapter 10. Finally, one of my amazing viewers has said that Fundamentally by Nusaiba Yunus was a 5-star read for her. I had that book actually in my hands last weekend in Gothenburg when I visited the English bookshop. Hello, guys. But then I decided that I only want to buy very few books nowadays. There is a protagonist named Nadia, like one of my daughters, and Nadia takes a UN job in Iraq, where she meets Sarah, an East London girl who was radicalized and joined the Islamic State, IS. Very interesting plot. What's your favorite among this shortlist? In the shortlist, it's just a game. Come on. Here and now, I would say Elizabeth Strout for delivering the message that every story deserves to be told and getting to the core of the human condition just one more time. So let's move over to the Booker Prize, the international edition. I'm currently reading Hiromi Kawakami's novel Under the Eye of the Black Bird, which I predicted to be on the long list and which marched through into the final, onto the shortlist. So far it doesn't feel like a novel, it feels more like a collection of shorter prose dealing with life in the future, and another book that for me actually seems to be based on one of the core problems of Japanese society, that this country is getting older and older and that the population of it is decreasing now for years. It is funny, it's scary, and sometimes even awkward, but that is so typical for Japanese contemporary literature. A leopard skin hat by French writer Anne Serre made it to the finals of a book about mental illness. Also this written in short scenes circling around the friendship of the narrator, and her deeply troubled friend. One step up and two steps back. One step up and two steps back. And sometimes even the other way around. Two steps up and one step back. A very important topic in our times. Heartlamp by Banu Mushtaq are short stories translated from the Kannadian, which is a language spoken in India. A book about the everyday lives of women and girls in Muslim communities in southern India. Perfection by the Italian author Vincenzo Latrinico is published by the always blue cover using publisher Fitzcarraldo Editions, which has collected lots of nominations in the past couple of years and a great reputation. Two millennials, Anna and Tom, live in Germany's capital Berlin, and here we have a connection to the Women's Prize and Good Girl by Aria Aber, which also plays in Berlin. That shows at least how diverse the city with the Brandenburger Tor, the Brandenburg Gate, has become in recent years. The 24-hour party scene is also something that plays a role in both novels. The second French finalist is Vincent Delacroix, whose novel Small Boat deals with the deaths of 27 people, refugees who tried to cross over from France to the United Kingdom. And finally, Danish writer Solveig Balle's book on the calculation of volume 1 made the shortlist. In her novel, a person is captured on or in November 18. She wakes up each and every day to the same day and the same routines. Reminds me from the idea of the American TV show Severance that I watched an episode of a couple of days ago, which was made very well, but that not really did pique my interest. Not on the shortlist. Like Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie and the Women's Prize, a huge favorite missed out of the shortlist here. Romanian author Mircea Cătărescu and his philosophical masterpiece Solenoid, the winner of the Dublin Literary Award last year. But as I said, take this as a game, a show, an entertaining event that highlights books and not always puts through the obvious books. I had hoped for Reservoir Bitches from Mexico by Dalia de la Cerda. If any one of you has read this, please tell me if I should look for it and pick it up. What were your expectations for these two shortlists, and are you satisfied with the results? Please let me know in the comments down below to this video, and subscribe to the channel and help me get to 2,000 subscribers. We are almost there, folks. Happy reading, and hopefully I see you in another one. Bye-bye.